Bats on the 3-0 pitch. He swings and it's a high fly ball, deep center field. It is gone! Home run! And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
Leans in, hits one in the air to right center field. Young is back towards the pool and gone. That was really close, if not splashing in there.
Well, it dropped in there, but it didn't land in there, and you could tell he had just missed the previous one, and he didn't miss that one.
It's a 3-run shot, and Team USA breaks through. They lead at 5-1.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into Flippin Bats now with Ben Verlander. I am joined, as always, by Alex Curry. The Team USA game just wrapped up. Team USA taking home their first victory of the tournament against Great Britain. What a day. We're going to cover it all. Obviously, Team USA's game, Game 1, the crazy Pool C and Pool D start to the tournament. Pool A, there's a scenario where everyone is tied, and it's absolute bedlam. We're going to talk about that. Top 5 moments of the WBC. Japan's game and Shohei getting struck out by an electrician. Today was wild, and it all ended in a way that we all needed, which was Team USA's victory. I'm rocking this sweet red, white, and blue jersey from the 2018 All-Star Game. A good day, USA wins.
It's always a good day when USA wins, the favorite. We both went in thinking they're going to win the whole tournament. But, Ben, I got to be honest here. Were you a little nervous in that first inning? Because Great Britain scored first.
Great Britain scored first.
Yes.
Trace Thompson, home run. Look, no is my answer. At no point was I like, are we going to lose this game? At no point.
Okay.
But, 1-0 start, if it carries on from there, then you start getting a little worried. But what I love to see before we dive too hard into this game is the crowd there.
Yeah.
The crowd everywhere. Just for context here. The WBC, I've watched ones in the past.
Mm-hmm.
This one, as I've said, feels totally different. This feels like the first time it's become huge. Yeah. The crowds prior in pool games, in most all pool games, there was not many people in attendance. And to see the contrast to now just speaks volumes to where we're at. The crowd at every single location is incredible. And just for context, before tonight, outside of 2 other USA and Mexico matchups, the highest attendance for a WBC game at Chase Field was 22,400. It was a USA versus Italy in 2013. Tonight's crowd, the first game in pool play against Great Britain, who nobody's like chomping at the bit to go see, 39,650, more than 75% larger than the other biggest one, which is really, really cool to see.
It is. I mean, we've seen it from every stadium in this tournament. There has been a moment where it's felt just, you could feel the energy through the TV. It was sold out. It was electric. Fans are on their feet. You have instruments going on. Like it is a playoff atmosphere all around the world right now in all 4 pools.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a playoff atmosphere. And it was in Arizona. It was in Miami today. Look, we got to talk about this Team USA game.
Yeah.
I was pumped for this. I feel like the WBC has aged me 40 years, and maybe it's because I've gotten 4 hours of sleep in 4 days, but it hadn't even half begun yet. Finally, Team USA gets underway. I was super excited. We did our pregame show leading up to it, and then the game finally got underway. And as you mentioned, Alex, very early on, shot right to the face. Trace Thompson, home run, first inning, 1-0 ball game, and then questions start coming in. Like, could this happen? Is Adam Wainwright really, like, he's up there? He's not throwing hard at all.
No.
He didn't look
missing the zone.
Great. Ended up settling in, but that first home run, they get to the dugout. Their celebration, by the way,
epic.
Got to give credit where credit is due. Their home run celebration when they get to the dugout is a crown, a cape, and a scepter. Right? That's what it's called?
I mean, they are the royal country, I guess. They still got a queen, now a king.
Butts royally beaten in the end, so
Nice.
fine. So the home run celebration is great, and it didn't take long for Team USA to turn things around. Nolan Arenado, my player of the game.
Okay. Yep.
Big RBI double early. Kyle Tucker follows that up with a single, 2-1. But then Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarbomb.
The Schwarbomb broke it open. And this is where things really, you felt at ease, and the game just kind of really coasted from there.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber's big 3-run homer, and I mean big. It was an absolute tank over the hot tub in right field. Some other things happened. Arenado tacked on another RBI double.
Yeah.
And Kyle Freeland really settled in on the mound. But as we just talked about, after that Schwarber home run, it just kind of felt like the game was in cruise control. Not a ton going on. It just, we got a big enough lead and just cruised from there.
I think we also have to remember, for a lot of these Major League Baseball players, majority of Team USA, they're in spring training still.
Yeah.
Okay. They're still in that warm up. They don't totally have their timing down. They're not ramped up to mid-season, beginning of season speed yet. As we saw with Mike Trout, not his best work, went 0 for 4 tonight with a walk and a couple strikeouts. But game one, okay?
Yeah. Are
game
you
one?
worried about Mike Trout?
I'm not.
Because I'm not worried about.
I'm not worried about Mike Trout.
Mike Trout,
not at all.
Just
Captain
fine.
America.
You're right. These are still
spring training games.
Beginning of spring training bats.
Yes.
Like, there's a couple, which is why I felt like Nolan Arenado that's why I picked him, because I saw him in that last tune-up game and his grand slam, he was hitting the ball hard. So some guys are going to be ahead of others at this point in spring training. But you better believe by the time pool play ends, and we might not see this typical Team USA this incredible lineup be the hottest that they will be throughout this entire pool. Do I think they'll advance?
Yes.
I do. Do I think we'll see dominant Team USA in this pool? Maybe not. It might take until we're facing the Japans and the Dominicans and the Venezuelas, who also looked great today, which we'll talk about that later as well. But the videos that we had coming out from our Fox Sports account was incredible.
MLB on Fox has got some great humor going on here.
Schwarber's home run, the caption on it was like, "It's as beautiful as a bald eagle soaring through the sky."
Is it not?
It was.
Is it not?
So bats still a little slow.
Yep.
And I need to mention this before we stop talking about this game, is that as good as Great Britain's home run celebration was, their uniforms are equally, if not more, worse. Alex, it's brutal.
It reminds me of Dodgeball, the Average Joe's, where it's just like, here, let's slap on a name on the front and go play some good ball, kids.
These jerseys to me scream, hey guys, we are super duper proud of you. We really are. But these are only for 4 games. Yeah. These jerseys will only be worn 4 times, and just bear with us, please. Yeah. That's what it was crazy. They're so bad. They're just all gray with just in like block
letters that literally look like they were ironed on to the shirt. And they're not even like straight or like in it. They're not. I don't know. It's small. It's weird. It's not soccer, so they're not putting in an effort. Let's be honest here.
Just all in all, not good uniforms. Yeah. Good, not great performance from Team USA, but exactly what you needed to get done. They got the victory. They're fine. Bats did what they needed to do. Adam Wainwright, to his credit, settled down after the first homer. Kyle Freeland of the Rockies came in and was really good. He threw great, ate up some innings at the end of the game. Bednar finished it off from the Pirates. So didn't use our big arms in the back end of the bullpen, which is also valuable in pool play.
Yep.
So my performance grade here, not that we're doing it, is good, not great.
Yeah. And you know what? This is the game you needed before they face Mexico tomorrow. This was a really good kind of, okay, you guys are here. This is the most competitive game that they've played since the end of last season.
The broadcast even said a good tune-up for
it is. So you got to think about it. The last extremely competitive game all these guys have played in was the end of last season. Yeah, they may have gotten a couple spring training games in, but that's not anywhere near the level of what a game like this in the World Baseball Classic and competing for your country is like in front of a sold-out crowd. Like, it's a lot. And they're doing great.
They're doing fine. They won. Great. They're good. Big matchup. tomorrow with Mexico. We'll talk all about that throughout this as well. Man, we have a lot to cover today. There was so much good, exciting baseball around the globe yesterday, early today, whatever time zone.
Do you know what day it is? Do you know what time it is?
Alex, I'm running on 7 hours of sleep since the tournament began.
So 4 days.
Bear with me here.
I am. Well, okay, so then let's go back to the very first game in the wee hours of 2 a.m. Pacific that started. Japan beating the Czech Republic 10-2. Japan officially punched their ticket to the next round, the quarterfinals. Couple things here. Japan is as good as we knew they were going to be. But then the Czech Republic, over the last couple of games, has just stolen the world's hearts.
I went from, and I said this our last show.
Yeah.
We need to make a movie about this Czech Republic team.
Yep.
And after watching them against Japan, I will give somebody $10 is money to start making this movie.
$10?
What? I mean, it might take a little.
I think you said $10,000. I was like, very nice.
Jeez, Al, okay, money bags.
Do you know how much it takes to make a movie?
Yeah, and I don't have it, but I'll help.
I'll write the script.
There needs to be a movie made about this Czech Republic team. Yes, Team Japan won, and if you look at the final score, 10-2, you'd say Team Japan dominated. And to be honest, that's not exactly a false statement. In the end, they did. They did what they were supposed to do. They dominated. They won big. They saved some pitching. But there were a couple of storylines here. One big one with Japan and one big one with Czech, which is where we'll start. It looked, for at least 2 innings, like, okay, I was kind of joking about make a movie. Now it's like, what is happening? Are they going to beat Japan?
Yeah.
And obviously the answer there was always no. But the starting pitcher for Team Czech Republic named Andrés Satoria became an instant legend last night, this morning. An instant legend. This guy, when the game started, was dubbed by the broadcast crew as a changeup specialist. He's a right-hander. You don't see many righty changeup specialists. And let me tell you, this guy ended up having perhaps the outing of the entire WBC so far. Have there been more dominant outings? Yes. Have there been outings that were more impressive? I honestly don't know the answer to that. Andrés Satoria ended up giving up 3 runs in 3 innings. He shut down Team Japan for 2 innings, got Shohei Ohtani to go 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He threw 69 pitches, 42 of them were strikes. He struck out 4 batters, shut down Japan for 2 innings, got out of bases loaded jams, and he did it all, Alex, without throwing a single pitch that touched 80 miles an hour. He didn't touch 80.
I mean, it was probably the most shocking moment of the WBC. As you could say impressive, you could say shocking. As you can see right here in the video on the screen if you're watching, his entire team came out to congratulate him when he came off of the mound. He was shocked. We were shocked at home watching. I think the entire Czech Republic dugout was just in awe shocked. Japan's dugout was completely shocked. Shohei Ohtani was shocked so much that he paid respect to Team Republic, to Czech Republic after the game, posted about it on his Instagram story. Like I said, they stole the hearts of the world.
You might be asking like why I think this is so impressive. This pitcher, Satoria, he's an electrician. That's his job. He's an electrician. And he struck out arguably the most talented player that Major League Baseball has ever seen. The stories write themselves. Make a movie. You got my $10. You got Alex's $10,000. Make it happen. It's unbelievable. I fell in love with this team. Were they ever going to beat Team Japan? No. But do they have my respect, your respect?
Oh, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani's respect, as we can see in the wall right here. Like you said, he posted on his Instagram story. He's now the most followed baseball player in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
He posted on his story the entire Czech Republic team saying respect with their flag. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations to Satoria for having the outing he did. And we have an exclusive conversation with the star electrician himself. Let's check it out.
It was something awesome. It's like the whole world was stopped in the moment, like a heart attack, man. It was hard. I just looked to my dugout and hey, I got him.
The whole world stopped in that moment.
That's what everybody was doing.
The whole world stopped in that moment. It felt like a heart attack moment. And the face he made, I think, was all of us at home with that face. So explain for the viewer or listener at home, why was it so hard for them to hit a pitch under 80 miles per hour?
Look, was it crazy to watch? Absolutely. Would I say I'm surprised? Honestly, no. I knew they would end up doing what they did, and sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to face a pitcher like that. He's throwing when I was playing professionally, we would say it's called throwing under the hitting speed, which means he's throwing slower than batting practices. And these hitters that are used to facing 100 miles an hour are now tasked with hitting 70 to 79 miles an hour. And it's not easy to just immediately flip a switch and come around. They eventually did. I knew they would. They eventually really piled on. But it's not easy. And the way I would categorize it is, it's like in a major league game when a position player comes in. It's everybody's worst nightmare. One that we all remember, when Anthony Rizzo struck out Freddie Freeman. Is Anthony Rizzo a better pitcher than everybody else in Major League Baseball? Can Freddie Freeman really not hit Anthony Rizzo? No, but it's just the situation. You're not used to it, and Anthony Rizzo's out there throwing lollipops. That's what it is. But I must say, I understand it, and I knew Team Japan would come around, but I do not want that to take away for 1 second the outing that Andres Satoria had, because it was remarkable to see, and it's what this tournament is all about. It was so special. It was so fun to watch his reaction, the team reaction, and to see the players over in Team Japan's dugout for at least the first 2 innings over there, like,
what's happening?
What is happening?
I know.
It was very, very entertaining, and I needed that at 2:15 in the morning when I'm just not doing well.
Well, get ready, because Japan's got one more tonight.
Oh, I'll be up.
I know.
I'll be up.
3 p.m. Pacific.
On the
3
Japan
a.m.
side.
Yeah.
One story I really want to mention here, because this is a pretty powerful one.
Okay.
And it was when pitcher Roki Sasaki took the mound this morning. It was on the anniversary, 12 years to the day, that a deadly tsunami took his father and his grandparents from him. 3/11/11. 12 years later to the day, taking the mound for the first time in a Team Japan uniform at the Tokyo Dome on this huge, massive stage. It was very, very special. A special moment for him, for the team to allow him to do this, for them to pitch him on this night. It was a special moment for all of Japan to allow this to happen and to see this happen. It was truly a powerful moment. And at 2 a.m, I'm legitimately on my couch in tears. I can't imagine. He was 9 years old. 9 years old. Lost his father and his grandparents. And now here he is 12 years later to be on this stage and, wearing his country's uniform in front of everybody. It is so powerful, and it was so cool. And he went out there and showed the world what he has. And what he has is a 102-mile-an-hour fastball and wipeout stuff. It was a remarkable night.
I can't even imagine the emotions something like that would bring onto a person. But then to wear your father's name on the back of your jersey and to have that kind of performance in front of your country, representing your country, in your country, is probably one of the more magical ways to honor your family.
So special.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. And it's so emotional. And I was so happy for him to go out and throw the way he did. And as I mentioned, I've talked about him a good bit. And before this tournament started, I've talked about, we all here in the United States know the names, Yu Darvish, Shohei Ohtani, and a bunch of Lars Nootbaar, who's become a superstar over there. We know those names. But there's a few that I wanted to highlight that we didn't know. Roki Sasaki was at the forefront of that along with Murakami. But Roki Sasaki showed us he was throwing 102 easily all game.
Yeah.
And his fastball averaged, if last year's fastball average, the hardest throwing pitcher was Hunter Green in Major League Baseball. His fastball was right there alongside him. That's how hard he throws. He's got nasty stuff. He did great. So kudos to him for putting on that performance in what was undoubtedly an emotional night for sure.
It was. And they're going to do it all again.
They're going to do it all again.
In a couple hours here.
I mentioned Lars, by the way.
Newbar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pepper grinder. Alex.
Chicka.
What? You have
Where'd
that come from?
Oh, my lunchbox.
Of course it did.
Oh, I also brought you a special one. It's a little different, but you know how they were like
What?
sold out of pepper grinders? You can also do the twisty. You can do the shaky.
Well,
I'm sorry, everyone. The studio's going to be covered in pepper.
Incredible.
Right?
The
You're welcome.
pepper grinder, along with Lars Nootbaar, have become icons
They are.
in
Sold out,
Japan.
right?
Yes. So I was watching this game and realized there's a ton of pepper grinders here. So I tweeted, wow, there are thousands of pepper grinders in the stadium thanks to Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah.
And somebody responded to me in Japanese, so I had to hit the translate tweet button and said, oh, no, there's tens of thousands. I'm here in the stadium.
I love it.
And most everybody has them. There was this one, the guy has a gigantic pepper grinder. It's like
3 feet?
3 feet.
Yeah.
And somebody also sent me a picture. You can't get pepper grinders anymore.
That's incredible.
They're sold out everywhere in Japan. Lars Nootbaar, ladies and gentlemen.
Way to go.
Superstar. Icon.
Trendsetter.
But great game. Team Japan ended up winning 10-2 and has officially become the first team in the World Baseball Classic to advance to the next round.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of crazy games. Let's move on to another one that we saw today. Dominican Republic losing to Venezuela 5-1. Now remember, Dominican Republic came in as some people's favorite to win this entire tournament, okay? We know that Pool D was going to be the pool of death.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm going to be honest, I was shocked and surprised by this game with the DR opening up with a bad loss. Were you?
I'm going to be honest, no.
What?
Okay, I understand Team Dominican was...
You even said they have the best lineup. You said arguably the
Team
best
USA has the best lineup. They had the best overall roster.
roster. Okay.
But I will not say I'm shocked when they're going up in this first game against a lineup that read Jose Altuve, Ronald Acuna, Luis Ariz, the batting champion, Salvador Perez, Andres Jimenez, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Santander, Eugenio Suarez, David Peralta, and Martin Perez on the mound, who had a 2.8 ERA last year. That's a star-studded lineup.
Yeah.
Is it as good? No. But we see teams, this isn't like a super lopsided matchup. So am I shocked? No. Would I have, would I have said, oh, for sure Venezuela's going to win? Also no. But look, this isn't that crazy of an upset that a team full of superstars and MVPs won the game 5-1. I'm more surprised that Sandy Alcantara didn't look very good on the mound. He didn't really look very good at all. Great lineup, great overall team, and Venezuela was, for me, in the pool of death where there's, I think, 3 teams. No discredit to the others. Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and Dominican Republic. Only 2 can advance.
Yeah.
Venezuela was that one for me, along with Dominican, because I saw this team. But now it gets a little hairy if you lose that first game.
You never want to go. Oh my God, look at their celebration. Can we just talk about the Venezuela going ham in the clubhouse?
This is a Ronald Acuna Instagram live.
Yes.
And it was nuts.
16,000 plus people tuning in.
They were getting after it in the locker room. It was unbelievable.
I love it.
Dominican falls to Venezuela in game 1.
See, that's how you know it was a big deal.
Yeah.
That's how you know it was a really big deal that they won.
I think you said it earlier, but every single one of these games has a playoff feel to it.
It does.
And it's March. And how can you not love
spring
can
training.
You not love this tournament? I was so excited for it, and I have fallen even more in love with this tournament. It is so fun to see the different cultures all coming together, to see the players, the passion. It's the first inning and a guy is beating out an infield single. We saw how hard Nolan Arenado was running down the line in the USA game.
Oh my gosh.
Which, by the way, if you're a Cardinals fan, you're freaking out.
We did a little. They didn't even show him falling. They kept that off camera.
If you're a Cardinals fan, it was Paul Goldschmidt on first base, Nolan Arenado hitting. It was a ground ball. They were trying to turn a double play. Paul Goldschmidt went knees to belly flop into second base, and Arenado was busting his butt down the line, lunged for first base, and fell through the bag. You're legitimately having 2 heart attacks.
Yeah. Oh, I did. We did.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even showing him on camera. Is he okay?
Yeah. So, yeah. Upset, but I'm not shocked.
Okay.
I would say. But, yeah, big start to pool.
D. Of death.
D for death.
D for death.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I like
a lot
that.
going on.
I'll
okay.
allow it.
Let's move to pool A right now. Okay. Because there's so much going on here, so many possibilities right now. We could have almost the entire pool tying at one point. Break down to us the scenarios right now in pool A, what needs to happen, what could happen, and who moves on if something happens.
Alex, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yes.
I am running on about 7 hours of sleep, and the fact that I'm going to try and
believe
get
in you.
everyone to understand
I believe in you.
The craziness, the sheer madness that is pool A, I'm going to do my best here.
Okay.
So these situations, okay, let me just, to start the day, or the current standings right now, Chinese Taipei 2-1, Netherlands 2-1, Panama 2-2, Cuba 1-2, Italy 1-2. You might say, wow, those are all pretty close.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. That's just scratching the surface. There is a scenario, and a very real scenario, that every single team in Pool A finishes with a record of 2-2. And only a couple of things needs to happen. Cuba needs to beat Chinese Taipei, which as we're currently recording this, they're up 5-0 over Chinese Taipei. So that's going to be close to, that's getting closer and closer to happening. And Italy needs to beat the Netherlands. If that happens, Alex, every team in the pool finishes pool play with a record of 2-2, meaning one team that finishes in last, thanks to the tiebreaker, will virtually be relegated and will have to re-qualify for the tournament next time it happens. And the top 2 teams with the same exact record as the bottom team will get thrown into the next round and will advance to face Japan and whoever else advances out of that pool. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And that, Alex, doesn't even begin to scratch the surface either.
Okay, go.
Because the tiebreakers
Give me more.
is where it gets insane.
Okay.
The top 2 teams advance, as we know. Tiebreakers, head-to-head record. That's the first one. But the problem is there's a lot of craziness that can ensue from there. So there will be other tiebreakers that come into effect. Stay with me.
Okay.
Next up. The lowest quotient of runs allowed divided by the number of defensive outs recorded in the games between the tied teams. That's the first one.
Okay.
The next one is the lowest quotient of earned runs allowed divided by the number of defensive outs recorded in the games between the 2 tied teams. Then it goes to highest batting average, drawing of lots, and it can get crazy. But
It's just a lot of math.
Yeah.
That's hurting my brain right now.
So the quotients right now, it's all about quotients, and I'm 7 hours in, and I'm not gonna touch it. Just know, Pool A is insane.
That is insane.
And I can't imagine. It's gonna be nuts. And there's more games today. We're gonna run through the games in a little while, and the ones that matter, and the tiebreakers, and all of that. I just love what's happening in Pool A. Not to mention is the pool itself crazy, but the atmosphere there in Taiwan has been one of the best I've ever seen. So I love me some Pool A. I'm here for the craziness.
It is. It's wild. It's fitting because this tournament has been crazy and given us everything and more we could have wanted and expected. And we're just in day 4. But let's go to...
Yeah, who knows? It might be
Who knows?
4.
Who are you? What time is it? Who are you people? I don't know. But now let's talk about another game that happened today. Colombia and Mexico.
What a game.
Colombia beating Mexico 5-4, pulling it off in extra innings. This game was insane because it was back and forth all the way to the 10th inning.
You know, this game was one of the better baseball games that we have seen in this tournament. All major league stars everywhere you turn. Randy Arozarena leading off the game for Mexico with a double. He also hit a homer. The team also has Alex Verdugo and Julio Urias on the mound. The majority of the stars come from Team Mexico, and they were pretty heavily favored to win this game. I was so impressed with Colombia. They were so good. Hit a massive 3-run homer in the 5th inning off the foul pole. Guys throwing gas out of the bullpen. And then the one guy for me that I need to mention, and I have to imagine he's going to be on a lot of people's radar after this.
Yeah.
Guillermo Zuniga. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's never pitched above AA. And he was out there throwing 102, moving all over the place, nasty slider, good command through the last few innings for Colombia and shut down Mexico. What a baseball game. And Colombia ends up defeating Mexico 5-4 in extra innings, immediately starting off Pool C, which is USA's pool.
Yeah.
With some craziness.
It's crazy. Mexico's going to have their work cut out for them. I had them as my second team moving out of Pool C with USA. And as we said before, never easy to start, like we said, with the Dominican. You don't want to start the tournament
and it
with a
doesn't
loss.
get easier for them tomorrow.
Oh, no, they have their work cut out for them tomorrow because Mexico is playing USA, 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. This is the game to watch tomorrow. This is the game that so many people have had circled the moment that the schedule and the pools came out for the WBC. The game's been sold out, right, for a bit. Like, it's going to be wild.
The game has been sold out for a while.
Yeah.
USA and Mexico. You have to believe a lot of the crowd is going to be Mexico fans as well. They showed out in that first game.
Yeah, they did.
The game is going to be wild. Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. I believe that's what we have in the graphic.
It's 7 p.m. Eastern,
Oh, is it?
right?
I don't know.
No?
That says 10
7.
p.m.
Oh, you're
Eastern.
right. Okay.
Am I right or
No,
are
you're
they
right.
wrong? You never know.
No, you're right. I'm wrong. I put it in.
Wow, guys.
I put
Mark
it in.
Mark that down. Somebody write it down. Record this.
I am wrong. You were right. I put it in my time. I forget.
Trust me, I'm in no way, shape, or form able to tell anybody that they need to figure out time because time is a circle and I can't figure it out. You know, little side note tangent here.
Yep.
The fact that this is the week that we spring forward the clock.
Yeah, tonight.
And I'm going to lose an extra hour. I've lost 24 hours of sleep in 4 days. And now I'm going to lose another one because the clock's spring forward.
You're doing it for the good of the fans and of the show and of the World Baseball Classic.
I have an important question for you, and I don't know the answer for this.
Okay.
So I saw that Team Japan's game was at 3 a.m. Pacific, right? So I obviously was going to wake up for it and do what I've always been doing, which is waking up 15 minutes prior to the game. I first off see it's at 3 a.m., so I'm like, oh, cool, an extra hour. I was going to set my alarm for 2:45, right? No, this is serious because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I was going to set my alarm for 2:45. The clock changes at 2.
Yes.
2 becomes 3.
I think.
So if I set my alarm
Your phone will
for
automatically change it.
2:45 and my phone changes the time from 2 to 3, we skip over 2:45. Would my alarm have gone off?
What? Well, let's give it a test. Do it. Let's do it.
That's what I'm going to do.
See what happens tonight. See
That's
if it
what I'm
goes
gonna do.
off at the
I'm
right
gonna
time.
set my alarm
Yeah.
for 1:45 and then wake up and set another alarm for 2:55 a.m. and see if it goes off or not. Because 2:55 a.m. is getting skipped. It's getting skipped.
Okay. It might not.
All right, so you don't
Our
know the
phones
answer.
are smart. They're going to figure it out. If you put it in now for the time, it's going to figure it out and go off at the right
I
time.
might have found a loophole. Okay, we should stop.
Yep.
USA, Mexico. The star-studded matchup of this pool.
Yep.
The best matchup of Pool C. Though don't sleep on Team Canada. They haven't played yet. They're the one team There's one other team in Pool D that hasn't played. But Pool C, the only team that hasn't played is Canada. We haven't seen them.
Yep.
Freddie Freeman's on that team. Tyler O'Neill, don't sleep on them. But the best star-studded matchup in this pool is USA and Mexico, and we're going to see it. Nick Martinez is on the mound for Team USA.
Patrick Sandoval for Mexico.
Yep. Angels.
Yeah.
Angels.
Pitcher. He's great.
Left-handed, really good.
Trout's
He'll
familiar
be
with
facing
him.
Mike Trout.
He's very familiar with him.
So this will be a good game. And I'm really excited about Nick Martinez. And for those that say, wow, Team USA is pitching. Oh, great. We have Nick Martinez. Nick Martinez
sassy
pitched in Japan. He was really good. Ended up getting a job back over here with the Padres. We saw him in the postseason last year. His stuff is electric. And if you watched, you're saying, wow, this guy's stuff is electric. Now he's going to be a starter this year. And not only if you watched did you see that his stuff was electric, but also if you faced him, you realize his stuff was electric. And one guy that faced him last year, JT Realmuto, is one of, if not the reason that Nick Martinez is on Team USA this year.
That's cool.
Mark DeRosa called and asked him, and he said to Mark DeRosa, we have to get this guy.
Aww.
He said, when D-Ro called me and asked, I said, you've got to get that guy. He's an absolute stud. He's got the right demeanor. He commands the mound, just has a great presence out there. I think he's a perfect fit for what we need. And now he's on the team and starting game 2 against Team Mexico.
I love that. Okay, so let's get into some ifs. USA will win if.
USA will win. They're the favorite here. They will be the favorite for every game of this tournament. But I do believe that there's a few things that need to happen. One being Nick Martinez needs to come out and shut them down early. Obviously, Nick Martinez has gone through a lot in the last few years, transitioning from Japan to the United States, then being in the bullpen, now being a starter. Now he's going to be fighting to be in that rotation with the Padres. Now he's on this stage, which we saw tonight, is rowdy, and Mexico fans are going to show out in full force.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, he's a big leaguer, and this is technically spring training. There's going to be some juices flowing. There's going to be some nerves. So for me, Team USA beats Mexico if Nick Martinez just keeps them under control and not let them get out to a lead early in the ball game. If he can settle in, they can't keep up with Team USA's bats, even though they do have some studs on that team.
Yeah, no, we had the exact same thing. We know that the USA lineup is going to put runs on the board, but you got to give him that chance to get ahead. Pitchers and Nick Martinez have got to silence the bats. Okay, let's go. Mexico will win if.
Mexico will win if. I think that one's. I think the reverse of that. Mexico will win if they can somehow get a lead early. That's when you can see things happen. That's how upsets happen. And this team is good enough to upset Team USA. They are.
Yeah.
And the second we think, or they think, as in the players, think that they're not, they're wrong. But I don't think they look at it like that. There's big league studs on the other team. So the second you let them hang around for too long, you can get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico can beat the USA if within the first 3 innings, they can get out to and hold a lead for the beginning part of the game.
Yeah, and they're coming off a tough loss, so you know they're going to be spicy coming into this. They need a win to stay in that runner-up spot if they want to make it.
They did not expect to lose that game.
They did not. So there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of fight.
Yeah.
Spicy game. This is going to be fun. This is going to be great.
Yes, it'll be great.
Okay, but that's not the only game we got tomorrow. We got a lot of games tomorrow.
It's
a full slate.
8?
Yeah. We have 7 games starting at 6 a.m. Eastern, and the last game starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. It's literally an entire day.
I mean, there's games going on right now as we speak. I mean, they're literally
I know. Does not stop.
24 hours.
Doesn't stop.
Just going.
Doesn't stop.
It's great.
Okay, so besides this USA-Mexico game, we're going to pick a game that stands out And
Okay.
one that you should at least watch. Put on your radar. Watch USA Mexico, but you also need to watch
All right.
this game.
I'll start because I got mine.
'Kay.
I know what I want.
All right.
I mentioned the Pool A
Cool. Yeah.
craziness. Well, as we're recording, Cuba is beating Chinese Taipei. That's the first thing that needed to happen. It's 6-0 in the fourth as we speak.
Oof.
That game's moving slow.
Yep. Yes, it is.
The game for me is Netherlands versus Italy. That's the one that makes the craziness ensue. If Team Italy, with their beautiful, beautiful mustaches, can pull through and beat the Netherlands, then everybody in that pool is 2-2, and it could come down to like a coin flip or like who can tie your shoe faster at the rate that these tiebreakers are all listed. It is
insane.
The insanity will ensue, and I love the insanity. So that's the game I am excited to watch.
Mark it. Okay.
What
The
about you?
game that I am excited to watch is Venezuela against Puerto Rico. Both of these teams are coming off big wins. All right. Puerto Rico, my sleeper that I picked for the tournament, won 9-1, scoring 5 runs in the 5th inning. They just put on an offensive explosion. Then you have Venezuela, who we just saw the celebration. Huge win over the Dominican Republic, 5-1. You know they're feeling good. Both of these teams had amazing first games and are coming in to this matchup. And it's probably between these two teams who's moving on. Pool D, Pool of Death. Do not miss this one.
You know what's interesting about that game?
What?
If Venezuela wins, they're, as much as there can be in these tournaments, a lock to advance, being 2-0 and beating the Dominican and then Puerto Rico. They would be a lock.
Yeah.
If they go to 1-1, then you're right there in the thick of it, and it's anybody's game because then everybody, all three of
have
those,
beaten one.
Yeah.
But if there's one team that's beaten both, then they got it.
Yeah. It's gonna be, that's a good one for sure.
Who do you think?
In that game,
Yeah.
I gotta go Venezuela. I was riding them, and you know why I picked them? Because this is our only This was our only difference in our bracket.
It was
in our full bracket is out of Pool D.
Yep.
D for death.
Yeah.
I had the Dominican and Venezuela advancing, and you had the Dominican and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So this is a big game.
I'm taking Puerto Rico. You're taking Venezuela.
And as of right now, I feel great about Venezuela, and you probably feel pretty great about Puerto Rico. They look good today.
Both are valid. Both our feelings are valid.
Yep. Okay. Yes, they are. But that's going to be a great.
It's going to be great. So much going on still tonight, tomorrow, you guys. World Baseball Classic madness is incredible. And it's only day 4. So I want to hear your top 5 moments so far that we've had in this World Baseball Classic.
So this is so far, I feel like I mentioned earlier, I feel like I've aged 40 years. I'm not sleeping.
I was going to say something.
And I'm loving every second of this. You know this, Alex. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink.
You guys, it's incredible.
Soda, no caffeine, no tea, no energy drinks, nothing.
I did give you some brain fuel, some B brain fuel today.
Yeah, sure.
B12.
Awful.
I am. It helped you. You felt good.
Awful.
You felt great.
No, I tasted awful.
Okay.
My brain feels open. Does that make you happy?
Yes, it does.
No coffee, energy drinks, nothing like that. I'm just all hopped up on good baseball, good crowds, and good friends. Jesus. Okay, top moments so far.
Number 5.
There have only been a few days. I have some top moments already. This will change. We'll probably see what has entered my top 5 at the end of pool play. But right now, we're like right smack dab in the middle of pool play. So my top 5 moments so far. At number 5, not really a moment per se, just Team Czech Republic. They are the moment. They are the Cinderella, not the Cinderella in the sense of, wow, look at the run they're going on. Mm-hmm. The Cinderella in the sense of all of the hearts that they are winning over along the way. I mean, we hear coming into this tournament that this team somehow qualified. They were a massive underdog against Spain in the qualifiers. They lost 21-7, and then they beat them in the following game to get here. And they're full of teachers and woodworkers and firefighters and sports managers. And then they win their first game. Mm-hmm. And then they looked pretty good against Team Japan. And then they strike out Shohei Ohtani in a game with an electrician. And then they have firefighters doing things. Team Czech Republic, as I mentioned, we need to make a movie about this team. It has been an incredible run. To see the smiles on their faces when they do literally anything in this tournament has been so cool. To see that first game where they were able to win, where they got out to a lead and everybody was like, oh my God, how's this team winning? And then China came back and we were like, okay, that was a good story. And then the 3-run homer in the 9th. The stories keep writing themselves with this team. And I'd be remiss if I didn't kind of create a little loophole and make the entire team one of my top 5 moments of this WBC.
I love it. I'm here for it. Let's move on to number 4. What you got?
At number 4, Yu Chang's grand slam against the Netherlands. And let's play the sound first, and then we'll talk about it.
2-1. A swing and another drive to deep left center field. Yu Chang has done it again.
So special.
Chills.
So cool.
Goosebumps.
This guy, Yu Chang, originally came out and said that he was passing on playing for Chinese Taipei in the World Baseball Classic. And that was met with such backlash on social media that shortly after, he pulled a 180 and said, you know what? I want to play. I want to play. And I know he's glad he did.
Oh, yeah.
He's having so much fun. That home run against the Netherlands, a game they were not supposed to win, they have perhaps the rowdiest crowd
They do.
in this tournament. It's incredible. The cheerleaders on dugouts, it's like a
rock show.
It's a rock
They are
concert.
front row at a rock show, holding on, banging their heads up and down, pumping everybody up.
The fans are all doing
It's
chants.
unmatched. It's unmatched. It is insane.
And
you
that-
can feel it through the TV.
Yes. And that grand slam from Yu Chang, it was fairly early in the game, and it was in a game that they were not supposed to win. That gave them the lead. Obviously, a grand slam, 4 runs, and they never looked back, and they were able to win that game. And now they're in position to advance out of the pool. And, well, who knows what's going to happen in Pool A. But that moment for me,
Yeah, seriously.
Yu Chang's grand slam with the crowd and the situation.
Magical. Chef's kiss magical.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to number 3.
Number 3 for me is Roki Sasaki taking the mound on the anniversary of his father and grandparents' death due to the tsunami. It was a special, very, very powerful moment. 12 years to the day, 3/11/11. Roki Sasaki was 9 years old when he lost his father and his grandparents. And 12 years later, he was able to take the mound for Team Japan in front of his entire country, the entire nation, the emotions involved. How cool of a moment is that? I don't know if cool is the word, but how powerful of a moment is that for Roki Sasaki, for the people of Japan watching, for me on my couch in tears watching in Los Angeles, California. So special. What a moment. And it was really cool to see him go out there and do what he did and show the world just how good he is throwing 102 miles an hour.
Especially when you put into perspective the Japanese culture and the respect that you have for your family. To honor your family in that way, I don't think there's a bigger moment for him to have been able to do that.
Yep, I agree.
All right, moving on to number 2.
Number 2 is the World Baseball Classic crowds. All of them. Every single occasion, every single pool, every single location has been beautiful.
There you go. Here we go. We just got the cheerleaders
Magical.
rocking out on stage.
I mean, I have watched WBCs in the past, and it does not hold a candle to what, that's a saying, right? Doesn't hold a candle.
I don't know.
Okay, either way.
All right.
It doesn't compare.
There you go.
to
I was like,
this-
change it
to
up,
this
change it up.
WBC. It has been the difference in the crowds from past WBCs to now, and the growth of baseball as a result is special. And the crowds have been, I mentioned, I don't do coffee, I don't do caffeine. How am I running on 7 hours of sleep 4 or 5 days in the WBC? These crowds are making it easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. It is so much fun watching these games. And if you're not waking up in the middle of the night, there's not a ton more opportunities left to do it over in those pools. I would do it. I really would. At least once. You got to experience it.
Or you're just doing it for them. That's what you're here for. You're here for the people. You're here for the World Baseball Classic, the Flippin Bats Now crowd, the fans.
I'm doing it.
Ben's taking one for the team.
I'm doing it.
For everybody. Okay, what was your top moment so far in the WBC?
My top moment so far is Shohei Ohtani taking the mound for Team Japan in the Tokyo Dome almost 7 years after the last time he's done it. And now he's a global sensation and an icon. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of Shohei or because he did well. I'm saying it because of what it meant for the game of baseball and what it meant for him and what it meant for all the people of Japan. 46% of households in Japan were watching that game.
It's almost half
Almost
the nation.
half of the entire nation.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Is watching that game. And it's because of what Shohei means to all of Japan and what he means to the game of baseball. Because I promise you, there were a lot of people watching here in the United States in the middle of the night as well. That's what he means. He means so much to the people in Japan, and we knew that. This was what was cool for me to see. Shohei Ohtani has been in the United States for a few years now, quite a few years. We've gotten to see the impact that he's had on people in Japan by how much attention they are paying to everything and the following of him and everybody involved in Major League Baseball. But to see when Shohei took the mound, the impact he's had on people here in the United States and the amount of people that woke up. Look, sleep's important. People like their sleep. The amount of people that woke up to watch Shohei Ohtani take the mound for Team Japan in the Tokyo Dome for the first time in almost 7 years, that was a moment. That was my favorite moment so far.
That's a good one. He's a rock star. Shohei Ohtani is a rock star.
He is.
That's incredible.
So are you, Alex. Great show.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
This day just keeps rolling. I don't know what I'm
does.
saying. I'm super tired. Don't
take that back.
Okay.
I'll keep that one.
Thank you all for listening. I will be up again watching Team Japan so that I can tell you guys all about it and you all can get your sleep. Thank you all for listening. We will be back. Team USA and Mexico again starts tomorrow night on Fox, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back then for a live pregame show and a live postgame show that will be released on all podcast platforms immediately after. So make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. We're also on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can follow and watch every single episode on YouTube at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. Thank you all for listening. What a day. Team USA gets their first W, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.
And go take a nap.
I'll go take a nap.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next time, peace.